Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I am a knitter and a sewist. So today I thought I would film a knit and chat video for you. We haven't done one of those for a little while, so I thought I would yeah, get my knitting out and update you on a few bits and yeah, just generally have a little chat. So I will show you what I'm working on. This cardigan it's a drops design cardigan. I can't remember the name. Let me just check the pattern. It's a good start, isn't it? So it's the Serene Forest cardigan, which is a really odd name. I don't know why it's called that, because it's basically just a plain stocking net stitch cardigan, knit in the round, bottom up, with a garter stitch button band. And I just wanted something really mindless. We've been having quite a tough few months, in fact quite a tough 2023 really, so I just needed I feel like I've been working on a few things that are a bit harder and I just got to a point where yeah, I've just been feeling really tired, so I just wanted something really mindless and this is perfect for that. So I got the yarn ages ago. I bought it back in January from the Cotswold Sewing Centres where I work. I will tag them below because they have a really good drops yarn selection on their website. But yeah, I bought this yarn originally for one of my own designs that I was doing for my book. Sorry if you can hear the noise, there are dogs running around the house. So yeah, I bought this yarn. It's the colour Heather, this pink colour. It's drops air for my own design for the book that I was writing, which very sadly my knitting book was dropped by my publisher, as were 20 other titles that they had in their crafting series, because they decided to discontinue the crafting series because basically the cost of living at the moment and all the issues that that's bringing. So yeah, sorry about the dog noise if you can hear that. They want to come in the room and I've shut them out the room because otherwise it will be chaos. So yeah, that was back in February. I had my book dropped, and I was halfway through this design in this yarn, and I just lost all interest for it. It was a great design for the book because the idea was that the book would have a mix of beginner projects and harder projects, with the idea that you could sort of start with a headband and work your way through, or if you were a more seasoned knitter you would have some quick easy projects that you could do, some mindless projects, as well as some more complicated stuff. So the sweater was like a really simple sweater in broken rib, and I just didn't really want it for my wardrobe. I was designing it for the book, so I decided to just frog it and yeah, work something else, because it's such a beautiful colour and it's such a beautiful yarn. It's a blown yarn, which means that it's really soft but very lightweight, very warm as well, but very lightweight. So yeah, it's a lovely colour for spring. I'm obviously going to be a bit late for spring because I only started this, I think I started this 2 weeks ago. I'm not the fastest knitter in the world, by the way. I'm quite slow, which I don't have an issue with because, you know, knitting is a chilled out, relaxing hobby, so there's no need to be fast. So yeah, it probably won't be finished for spring, but I think I'll still get some wear out of it in the summer, and it'll be nice next year. I really like wearing spring colours in February because it's cold and miserable and you're so ready for the end of winter and the start of spring. So I always like to knit like beautiful pastel colours like pinks and blues and lilacs and things like that to wear, but like really warm, which is what this is going to be. But as I say, I always think it'll be a great one to throw on in summer when it's just a bit chilly, like in the evening and stuff. Throw on over a summer dress. So yeah, I frogged all the yarn and started knitting this. So that is the project that I am working on. I've got the yarn as well in my yarn bag, so you might have seen this if you watch my what I got for my birthday bag. This is from Mood, which is a Danish brand that makes these beautiful leather knitting bags, project bags. I think they make quite a few different like accessories, but yeah, I just love this. This is so great for projecting around. Just a gorgeous bag. So I've been using that. It sits by the side of my sofa, and then it's been so easy as well to just like take it with me, because we had some family come down and stay near us recently, and we don't have a spare room to put anybody up, so they stayed down the road, and we went over there quite a few times, and I could just literally zip my bag up and take it with me. And it fits like all the yarn plus like, I mean, obviously I haven't finished, I'm not even at the sleeves yet, but quite a lot of a project in it, which yeah, is super helpful. So yes, that is what I am knitting on. Yeah, what do I have to update you on in the knitting world? If you watched my video last week, or the week before last actually, because I took a week off, you will have seen that I went to the Cotswold Yarn Festival, which was amazing, and I picked up loads of gorgeous yarns. I think I have decided now that I really need to not buy any more yarn or fabric for a little bit. I've been to a lot of shows, which has been fantastic. I went to Unravel in February. I went to the Stitch Festival in March, and I went to the Cotswold Wool weekend in May, which has been amazing. But I have now got a lot of yarn, and a lot of like sweater cardigan quantities of yarn, and the same with fabric. I've got absolutely loads of fabric. I've basically got, I think I worked out 7 or 8 summer dresses worth of fabric, and you know, a few tops as well, which is, that's a lot. So I try not to like over consume too much. I find it's really easy just to get overexcited and buy like the nice yarn when you see it, or buy the nice fabric. So I think I'm going to sort of have a little bit of a self-imposed ban whilst I work through my stash a bit, because I also feel it's so satisfying to work through your stash, to like empty it a bit, and then, you know, I think I'll probably go to Unravel in September and fill up a bit. I also try to be like a season ahead at least, so I purposefully, when I went to the Cotswold Wool weekend, looked at winter, autumn winter stuff, because I mean, it was wool obviously, so I picked like colours for autumn winter. I picked a beautiful undyed yarn that's obviously going to be like a lovely cream, and then like a green and a red and things like that. So I picked some nice wintry colours. The only thing I think I would really like, if I've got time, is I'd really like to make a mustard cardigan, so I'm still looking for some mustard yarn for autumn. But other than that, like, I really don't need to buy any more yarn. I've got so much, and I've got a really big project that I want to get started over the summer, which I bought the yarn for last year. It's a Rowan lace weight yarn, because I'm going to knit myself a dress. So I've got a 1940s pattern, which I bought off Vintage Knitting Party's website. I will link her below. And yeah, I've got this beautiful 1940s vintage knitting pattern. It's lace and it's knit, I think it's knit on 4mm needles because it's lace. So it's not like knitted on like 2mm or anything, which is obviously like the normal size for knitting lace weight yarn. So it's going to be like full of holes, so I'm going to make a slip or buy a slip to wear underneath it. It's got little puff sleeves and a little collar, so that's my sort of Christmas dress, because we, in my family, we dress up on Christmas Day. In my husband's family, they dress up on Christmas Eve and go out for a nice meal, so there's always a reason to wear a nice dress, and I'll hopefully wear it to like a few Christmas do's and a few Christmas party bits. So yeah, I'm really excited to make that. I've never made a dress before, and obviously, you know, I've followed a few vintage patterns, but I've never actually followed one as old as 1940s. I've done 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, so this will be like the oldest pattern. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too complicated. But yeah, I've got so much to be getting on with, so I think I'm going to have a little yarn ban and work through my stash. Because also, very excitingly, 2 of my friends are expecting babies in August, and my sister is expecting a baby in September. So yeah, I need to knit some little baby things, which I love. If you've been following me from the beginning, hello, lovely to have you here. So my Instagram I started back in 2019 because I was knitting baby clothes, which my friends were asking if they could buy them, and if I could make things for them and do like bespoke orders and stuff. So that's what I started doing. I started selling them on Etsy, and yeah, people were ordering things. So I basically started, my knitting journey was knitting baby clothes. So I have such an affinity for it. I just love knitting baby clothes. They knit up really quick and they're so sweet. So yeah, I am really super excited to do some baby knitting, and that is what all of this yarn here is left over from when I was running my little business, because I used to buy it, you know, like lots of colours in one go, so that I could save on the postage, and so when I stopped I still had quite a lot left over. So yeah, planning to knit a few like cardigans. I was thinking I might as well, because the local hospital, well, it's not that local, Oxford, our hospital, the baby unit has been asking for blankets for their what's it called, I can't remember the full title. It's like the neonatal ward, I think, is the ones that are looking for blankets. So yeah, I'm gonna do lots of baby knitting, I think. So as I say, like, I've got so much in my stash. It might be that I need to like top up, so like I've got basically one skein of each colour. So like I've got this lovely colour here, which I think I'm going to use for my sister's baby. She's having a baby girl. That may not be enough, because I want to make a slightly bigger size, like a 6 to 9 months, so that she can just like roll up the sleeves and start wearing it earlier and get lots of wear out of it. So that skein may not be enough, because I might need 2 skeins, but I'll just, like, we sell this at work, so I will just sort of top up as and when I need to, and that shouldn't like leave too much left over. That should, you know, most baby cardigans use like nearly one full skein of yarn for like size 3 to 6 months. That was my experience. So yeah, hopefully that won't then mean like this, like I'll be working through it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is the plan. So yeah, at the moment I'm knitting on this cardigan, but I think some of my friends are having baby showers and stuff for their babies, so I think that I might start knitting a bit earlier for the baby stuff. I often wait until the baby is born just to see like what hair colour it's got, and like, you know, skin colour, skin tone, etc. So I can like pick a colour that goes nicely with all of that, because we were really shocked, because in my family we all have this really dark hair and these dark eyes, and my oldest sister, her 2 sons are the same, dark eyes, dark hair, but my second oldest sister, who's pregnant at the moment, her first child came out blonde with blue eyes, which doesn't happen in my family. Her husband is blonde with blue eyes, but we were all like, whoa, where did that come from? Well, obviously we know, but like we just, yeah, we're not expecting to have a blonde child in our family because these genes are quite strong. So yeah, I often wait now to see like what the hair colour is going to be, because often they'll suit different colours, because we also have red hair in my family as well, so obviously if they came out red, probably don't want a pink cardigan. My husband's a redhead, and pink definitely doesn't go with red hair. Sometimes it does, I guess it depends on the like shade of the hair and the shade of pink, but yeah, we'll probably go for like a green or something. So yeah, normally I wait, but I think it would be nice to take something to my friend's baby shower. One of my friends is South Asian, her and her husband are South Asian, so baby will have probably very beautiful dark hair. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe like mustard could be a really lovely colour, like a nice yellowy mustard colour for the cardigan. She's very stylish, my friend, as well, and she wears a lot of like mustard and nice bright colours, so I'm really excited to knit them a little baby cardigan. As I say, I'll probably take it to the baby shower in July, so I'll probably get started on that soon. So yeah, in terms of summer knitting, obviously, as I said, lots of baby stuff, but in terms of for me, I've decided not really to make too much. Sorry if my camera's really blowing out, the sun's just come out. Oh, sorry, I hope that colour's a little bit better. Yeah, I really love summer knits. I do actually really like cotton. I've knitted one t-shirt, which is the anchor blouse from Petite Knit, which I wear a lot. I also have a couple of cotton cardigans which I wear a lot. So yeah, I really like summer knits, but I just think I want to work through my stash, and I think I'm going to work on like winter knits and stuff over the summer this year. I think that's what I've decided to do, so I'm not going to buy myself any like cotton yarns or anything. The only thing is that last year I made the Seabourn tee by Herb Garden Knitwear, which is a gorgeous pattern with this lovely scalloped edge, but sadly for some reason it came out really short. I don't know how I managed that, but I had loads of the yarn left, so I'm going to have a go at putting in I don't know what it's called like a safety line or something, and cutting, which I've never done before, so I'm slightly terrified. But yeah, I'm gonna have a go at doing that, rather than, because otherwise it means undoing a hell of a lot of knitting. I have to take the sleeves off and undo right down, because it's bottom up, undo right down to like where you split for the sleeves, which is just too much of a pain. So yeah, that is the plan, to have a go at putting in a safety line either side of where I'm going to cut, and knitting some extra rows to lengthen that. The stripe pattern is like, I think a 12 row repeat, so I'll probably put in at least 12 extra rows, maybe 24. I'm a little bit worried though. I think what I'm going to try and do is cut out one of the white stripes. I think that's probably the best way to do it, just to make sure that I keep, because otherwise I don't know if I'm going to be able to like figure out where I'm starting with my stripe pattern and things like that if I just start halfway through like a blue block. So yeah, that is probably my only summer knitting project, is I will correct that, which I think I'm going to work on after I have finished this cardigan. I'm quite a mono knitter, really, monogamous knitter. I find it quite hard to flip from project to project, and I often feel like I really want to like get it done. The only time it happens is if I get bored, so I am getting a little bit bored of this, so I think I'm probably going to get to the point where I split for the sleeves and I'm going to put it down for a little bit, and I'm going to knit, I think I might knit a baby knit or a sock. I'm not sure. I've got lots of lovely sock yarns. You may have seen if you watched the last video, I bought 2 new sock yarns at the show, but also some sock yarn I bought at Unravel for my husband for a pair of socks. So yeah, I think it's quite nice to take a break maybe and make a sock, and then I'll do the back and then make a sock and then do the front, make a sock or something, or a baby knit, and yeah, split it up a bit, I think. So as I say, I think, to be honest, by the time this is done, this is probably not going to get done until, I don't know, June, maybe the end of June. So then we're into July, so I think I'll just start working on my autumn knits, because it does tend to take me about 2 months to knit a garment for myself. As I say, I often take breaks to knit other bits and bobs in between. So yeah, I think I will just get started on some autumn winter knits. As I say, I really want to get some nice mustard yarn, so that's the only thing, is I think I'd really like to knit like a mustard cardigan or something. I can't decide whether a cardigan or a jumper. I think I'm probably going to go with cardigan because I wear a lot of dresses, and I've discovered as well this like magical trick in the winter. Whenever I wore dresses I was always really cold, but I'm always really cold in jeans as well, so but yeah, I started wearing them with bamboo tights from We Are Thought, which is a really great sustainable, ethical brand, and a slip, which I just bought from Marks and Spencer's, and what a difference that makes, because like I've got the slip on and the big thick tights and then the dress over the top and a cardigan, and I'm so like cozy. So yeah, I knit jumpers and cardigans to go with my dresses a lot of the time, but yeah, I think I'm gonna knit a mustard cardigan because I think I'll just get so much wear out of that in the autumn winter. So yeah, that's the only thing that I want to buy, I think, for a little bit of time now, because I've got quite a lot of bits. I've got things in my stash that I will need to add to. So I've got alpaca soft DK from Rowan, which I got sent to me years ago when Mode at Rowan first launched, and they invited me to their press event, and I knitted their cropped sweater, which I just never wore it ever. So I frogged that at Christmas with the idea that I would knit something else. I think I'm going to knit the Whitmore jumper sweater by the Tailoress Studio, but that won't be enough yarn because obviously it was cropped, so for it to be a long enough jumper I'm gonna have to buy some extra, but that's fine. That's what I mean, is like I might need to add an extra 2 or 3 balls, skeins of yarn to what I've got, but then it's gone and I've used it all up. And then the same, I've got some drops alpaca silk or something, I can't remember what it's called, alpaca silk maybe. It's like a mohair but with alpaca, that I bought for a sweater that just didn't work. I tried to make it and it just did not work. I just really didn't like it. So I was going to make I think the Petite Knit Novice cardigan, the mohair edition, out of that, because you hold 2 strands, but again I was planning to make a short sleeved top with the quantity that I bought, so I'll need to buy a bit of extra of that. And then I've got another one which is a Lang Yarns, which I made a sleeveless top, which I just literally, I finished it and I just really didn't like it, which is horrible when that happens because I put so much work into it. But I just frogged it at Christmas, and again, because it was sleeveless, I'm obviously going to have to add some yarn to that. But I'm thinking that I might sort of like, because of obviously getting different dye lots, I might do the sleeves in the new yarn, or like mix it, do one skein, so that I mean, I have to say I didn't really have much of an issue with my husband's jumper that I made him in the winter, which was different dye lots, because I got sent some of the yarn for free and then picked some up from somewhere else and blah blah blah, so they were fine, so I'm not too worried about it. That doesn't worry me too much because it's not like a really strong colour. It's like a beige, the merino. It's merino, as I say, Lang, I think it's just called like Lang Yarns Merino or something like that, which I'm just gonna add another skein. Just finished my skein of yarn, so just add that in there. So yeah, that is just sort of an update on everything. Another thing as well to tell you guys about, you will know if you've been following me, watching my videos, etc., that I do knit from vintage patterns quite a lot. I collect vintage knitting patterns. I have quite a good collection now. I am thinking of putting them up on a shop and selling them as PDFs, which I've seen a lot of people do with vintage knitting patterns. So let me know in the comments below if you'd be interested in that. It would mean that like people who've asked about certain patterns that I've made before, like cardigans and jumpers and things that have been vintage, that you would be able to buy those patterns, which hopefully would make you happy. Because as I say, I've had a few questions about those. A few people have said they would really like to make it, so yeah, that is the plan, is to start a little vintage knitting pattern business. As I say, I've bought them before from other people, like PDFs off Etsy and things like that of vintage patterns. So obviously you can purchase like actual hard copies of like original vintage patterns, so it's not going to be that, it is going to be a PDF that you get, and therefore I wouldn't be charging like huge amounts. I think probably charge about £2 or £2.50 or something. But yeah, that's the plan. So I think I'm going to do a video soon on my vintage pattern collection, so I can show you everything that I've got, and you can see what's going to be going up on my little shop and yeah, see if there's anything you would like to purchase. So yeah, that's it really. I've done quite a little bit of knitting here now. It's my little update on everything. So yeah, life has been a bit stressful, so things have been a bit all over the place the last few months. Like, I mean, I've been having nearly a video every week, but like every now and again I have a little break because there's just too much going on. Basically, the biggest thing has been that our puppy Rodney that we adopted in November isn't a good match for our other dog that we have. It's not been like, they've not been fighting or anything, they just don't match, they don't get on, they don't have the same like needs and the same levels of energy. And we were told he was going to be quite a different dog by the rescue centre. He's an amazing dog, but yeah, we were told he was going to be quite a different dog to what we've ended up with, and therefore he's not really suited to our other dog anymore, which has been really hard and really heartbreaking, but we basically had to make the choice to find him another home, which is going quite well. We've got a few people who are interested, who are going to meet this week, some really great families, and I know he's going to go and live a great life with them. So yeah, it's basically broken our hearts the last few months to do it, but it needs to happen because our other dog has to come first. We've had her, we rescued her almost 4 years ago now, so obviously she was always going to be the most important pooch in this decision. So yeah, we're making this decision for her to make it better for her. So yeah, that is why things have been quite hard. And then on top of that, we also thought about moving house to a bigger house, because we are a little bit squeezed in this house, because I work from home and I need a studio to work in because I film and I do photography for social media for crafting brands, that uses up quite a lot of space. So yeah, we were looking for a bigger house, but here in the UK the housing market is just really dire at the moment. We're in the middle of a cost of living crisis. People are not selling, they're staying put. The interest rates for mortgages have gone sky high, so people aren't able to get mortgages, and it's just not, we're just not in a good place at the moment. So we made the decision to take the house off the market and stay here for a little bit longer, which is exciting because we're going to start doing like massive renovations. Not massive renovations. We're going to start doing some renovations. We're going to start like decorating. We're having our garden fence redone because it's a complete mess, which is going to completely change how the garden is. So I'm really excited for that. I'm going to make some blinds and some curtains, and we're going to paint all the rooms, and yeah, it's going to be really lovely to actually get to do all of that. But the last 5 months, 6 months have been really tough and really stressful. So yeah, that's just sort of why it's been a little bit all over the place. But I'm hoping things are going to start to calm down soon. Rodney will hopefully go to a new home where he'll be really happy and we can settle down a bit, and I will be able to start decorating the house. And I know that's actually quite stressful, decorating the house. We've decorated a room before and it was quite stressful, so maybe things won't settle down that much. But yeah, knitting has kept me going, I have to say, because I love sewing, but sewing's quite difficult. I have to do it in this room, and so like when I've had to keep eyes on the dogs to make sure that they're not like causing any issues with each other and things like that, it's been quite difficult to do sewing, and I find it quite tiring as well, whereas knitting I can do. If I'm not knitting, that's when like my chronic pain and my chronic fatigue is really bad, because I can do it nearly all the time. Like it has to be really bad for me to not be able to do it. So knitting has kept me going, and yeah, it's been really lovely to be part of the community on Instagram. I've had a lot of support and a lot of love, and a lot of support and love over here as well, so thank you very much for all your lovely comments. It's so lovely to have you guys following, and yeah, I feel like I have a whole host of friends on the internet. So yeah, that's just like a little life update at the end there, and yeah, I hope that doesn't feel too sad to end on. Things are, like, I'm okay, and things are, you know, things are looking up, and things are gonna be good. It's just been a tough few months, but yeah, keep calm and carry on knitting. That is the slogan to 2023. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this knit and chat video. It was really nice to catch up with you all. I will speak to you soon. As I say, I'm going to do a video soon, I think, on my vintage knitting patterns. Leave me a comment and let me know what you're knitting on, what you're working on. If you were knitting watching this video, let me know what you were doing. And yeah, I will see you next time, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!